The FBI has just uncovered a shocking secret inside Goldberg's lavish estate, a discovery so startling that even seasoned agents were left speechless. Why did they raid the legendary actress's property? What was hidden behind those closed doors? And more importantly, why has the public never known the truth? The evidence they just found changes everything we thought we knew about Goldberg, and this story is only just beginning. Under the dim glow of early morning street lights, the neighborhood surrounding Goldberg's lavish estate was so quiet you could hear leaves gently brushing against the pavement. But this morning, that peace was shattered by roaring engines, hurried footsteps, and a tension so thick you could cut it with a knife. It was barely 5 a.m. The sun had yet to rise, and most of the neighbors were still asleep, except for a few early-rising elderly walkers. But even they quickly sensed something was very, very off. If you're curious about the story of Hollywood legend Whoopi Goldberg, don't forget to hit like, comment, and share this video so more people can discover it. Now, let's dive into this fascinating story. A convoy of unmarked black SUVs suddenly appeared, moving slowly yet with undeniable force. Men in black suits, bulletproof vests, and dark sunglasses stepped out, their faces unreadable. Within moments, they surrounded Goldberg's grand estate, blocking every entrance, ensuring that no one could come in or leave. Then, bang, 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 the knocking echoed like thunder in the early morning, with no gentleness, no hesitation. This wasn't a routine visit. This was a raid. Inside the estate, movement stirred. A light flickered on upstairs, signaling that the owner was awake. The massive wooden door slowly creaked open, and there stood Whoopi Goldberg, the woman America knew so well. She had faced the highs and lows of Hollywood, but never anything like this. Though she had just woken up, Whoopi maintained her usual composure, draped in a light gray robe. Her hair fell naturally around her shoulders. Her eyes scanned the agents at the door, not with fear, but with surprise and a hint of confusion. "What's going on?" Her voice was calm but sharp. One of the agents stepped forward, flashed an FBI badge, and pulled a file from a black briefcase. "We have a search warrant. This is a federal investigation." That statement hit like a bomb in the morning fog. As soon as the door opened, agents moved swiftly, taking control of the estate. Curious neighbors had already started gathering, now whispering in small groups. "Oh my God, Goldberg," a middle-aged woman muttered, shaking her head in disbelief. "She's a huge star, how could she be involved with the FBI?" another voice whispered. Still, the rumors only make it more intense. Some reporters had already caught wind of the raid and rushed to the scene, cameras raised, desperate to capture every moment. Local police were deployed to control the growing crowd, setting up barricades to keep onlookers at a distance. Flashing camera lights reflected off FBI vehicle windows, creating a chaotic and dramatic spectacle. Meanwhile, inside the lavish estate, a thorough search was underway. The agents split into teams, each with a clear objective. They combed through every room, opened every drawer, shifted every book on the shelves, leaving no detail unchecked. Whoopi stood silently in the middle of the living room, arms crossed, eyes fixed on the agents searching her home. She knew one thing: the FBI didn't come knocking without a reason. But the question was, why? What could have made them suspect her? An agent stepped forward, locking eyes with her. "Do you want us to call your lawyer?" he asked firmly. Whoopi took a deep breath and nodded. "I think that would be the right thing to do." No one knew exactly what the FBI was looking for, but one thing was certain: they had a serious reason for this raid. A few agents wearing white gloves carefully opened a drawer in Whoopi's private library. This was where she kept important documents, including script contracts and personal letters spanning decades. One agent pulled out a stack of papers, flipping through each page slowly and deliberately. On the other side of the house, another team was searching the rarely visited basement. Dust-covered boxes were opened, each item carefully examined. Then, suddenly, an agent called out, "I think we found something." Immediately, the entire FBI team in the estate gathered. A metal box was pulled from a hidden corner, locked, untouched for years, with no sign of tampering. Whoopi stood nearby, squinting. "I've never seen that box before," she said slowly. The agents exchanged glances before swiftly carrying the box outside. They didn't open it right away. Instead, they carefully sealed it and sent it to a specialist for analysis. After hours of searching, the FBI finally left the estate. They gave no statements to the press, no official announcements. All that remained were unanswered questions, and a famous actress standing in her home filled with doubt. The crowd outside began to disperse, but the stories kept spreading. Headlines exploded across the media: FBI raids Whoopi Goldberg's home. What's going on? Secrets inside Whoopi's estate. What did the FBI find? All of America was waiting for answers, but only those inside the investigation knew the truth, and that truth could change everything. Whoopi Goldberg is no stranger to controversy. As one of Hollywood's most recognizable faces, she's experienced countless highs and lows throughout her career, from triumphant moments on the big screen to intense backlash over her personal views. But this time, everything is different. This isn't just a TV debate or a critical magazine article. The FBI doesn't get involved over controversial statements. They're conducting a serious investigation. The raid on Whoopi Goldberg's estate wasn't a spur-of-the-moment decision. Those familiar with law enforcement know that the FBI never executes a search unless they've gathered substantial evidence. This raises a big question: how long have they been watching Whoopi? According to multiple insiders, the FBI had been keeping an eye on the actress for months. No one knows exactly what they were looking for, but one thing is certain: this isn't something small. Federal agencies don't waste time on trivial cases. If they issued a search warrant, they must believe something truly serious is going on. But the biggest question remains: why was Whoopi Goldberg targeted? Some legal experts speculate that this could be a financial investigation. In recent years, several celebrities have faced prosecution for tax issues or shady business dealings. But if this was just a tax issue, why did the FBI seem so tense? Why send an armed task force to the home of an aging actress? Was there something far more serious at play? Throughout her decades-long career, Whoopi Goldberg has faced intense public scrutiny, time and time again. Again, she's never been afraid to speak her mind, even when it lands her in hot water. Over the years, she's faced backlash for her outspoken remarks on The View, where she's been a co-host for years. From heated debates with guests to controversial political and social commentary, it all cemented her as one of the most polarizing figures in entertainment. But despite past controversies, Whoopi had never faced a career-threatening risk like this. As news of the raid broke, social media exploded with speculation. Reddit, Twitter, and TikTok forums were flooded with posts about Whoopi Goldberg. Some believed it was just a misunderstanding, while others spun wild conspiracy theories about what the FBI might be investigating. The media wasted no time. Sensational headlines dominated every news outlet. Hollywood in shock: FBI raids Whoopi Goldberg's home. What's going on? An American icon under investigation. Could this be the end of her career? The incident even became a hot topic on late-night talk shows. Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert mentioned it with their usual sarcastic remarks, but behind the jokes lay an undeniable truth: Whoopi Goldberg was facing a storm like never before. When the FBI left Whoopi Goldberg's estate, they gave no official statement. No indictments, no announcements of charges, no explanation for the mysterious box they had taken. But their silence only made the story even more dramatic. Whoopi's fans feared this could be the end of her legendary career. Endorsement deals, movie offers, and even her role on The View could all be at risk if the investigation continued. Meanwhile, her critics celebrated. Some of her biggest detractors began publishing mocking articles, calling it karma for her past controversial statements. But Whoopi Goldberg isn't the kind of person to go down easily. Just days after the raid, she finally broke her silence in a special episode of The View. She faced the audience with a calm demeanor, but her eyes held an unmistakable fury. "I know what you're saying, I've heard it all, but let me be clear, I have nothing to hide." She didn't say much about the investigation, but her message was crystal clear: she wouldn't let this incident destroy her career or reputation. But were her words enough to silence the rumors? The FBI has yet to release details of the investigation, meaning the mystery remains. The question now is, what is really going on? And more importantly, will Whoopi Goldberg weather the storm? A heavy silence settled over Whoopi Goldberg's lavish estate as FBI agents stepped inside. The dim beams of their flashlights swept across every corner, every bookshelf, every perfectly hung painting. But what they were searching for wasn't in plain sight, it was buried deep within the secrets of this house. As the search progressed, an agent noticed something odd about the back wall of the office. A nearly invisible groove ran along the baseboard. At first, it seemed like a simple decorative detail, but when an agent accidentally touched it, a sharp click echoed through the silent room. The entire task force froze, their eyes locked on the wall. One of the agents, experienced in uncovering hidden rooms, crouched down and ran his fingers along the groove once more. A faint click echoed through the air, but this time something was different. A section of the wall began to shift, revealing a small door that wasn't on the estate's blueprints. The agents exchanged quick glances, no one knew what lay beyond. In a tense moment, they reached for their weapons, bracing for whatever was waiting on the other side. The door creaked open, revealing a narrow hallway leading down to a dark basement. The air was thick with a scent of damp and decay, as if untouched for years. Then they stepped into the secret room. Unlike any other place in the estate, the room held nothing but dusty wooden shelves and an old table in the center. But what truly caught the agent's eye were the neatly stacked metal boxes in the corner. Each one was tightly sealed, seemingly untouched for years. The agent opened the first box. Inside was a collection of old documents, many marked as classified. Some pages had yellowed with time, but their contents remained intact. Another agent flipped through the files and immediately recognized familiar names, some of the most powerful figures in entertainment and politics. But the most shocking discovery wasn't the documents, it was what lay at the bottom of the box, a handwritten letter on thick parchment, sealed with a red wax stamp. This letter had been around for decades, maybe even longer. But what truly stunned the FBI was the sender. The seal bore a distinct symbol, a symbol tied to a major case the FBI had never been able to solve. The lead agent carefully picked up the letter, inspecting every stroke of the handwriting. The sender did not sign their full name, but part of the letter revealed an important clue. If this letter was found, it meant that the truth was never meant to be disclosed. The cryptic, mysterious words seemed to have been written for someone in the future, or perhaps to warn someone. But the question is, how did this letter end up in the lavish Goldberg mansion? Based on the wax seal and the contents of the letter, the FBI suspects that the case is linked to a mysterious case from many years ago, one that has never been made public. Some inside sources have revealed that this case is connected to one of the biggest scandals in Hollywood history, a disappearance that remains unsolved, a secret hidden by those in power. But the most important question is whether Whoopi Goldberg knew about the existence of this room. Did she know about these secret documents, or was it something she unintentionally possessed without knowing? The FBI knew they couldn't rush to conclusions about these documents. They could be crucial evidence for a long-forgotten case, or they might be the key to uncovering a truth that many want to keep hidden. But one thing is certain, the investigation is far from over. News of the secret room was immediately leaked. The media jumped on the story, competing to report on this new discovery. The FBI had found a hidden basement in Goldberg's luxurious mansion. What had she been hiding? Theories spread, ranging from plausible stories to unbelievable conspiracy theories. Some believe that the glamorous Goldberg may be holding crucial information about a secret in Hollywood. Others even speculate that there could be a larger conspiracy behind the entire situation. But whatever the case may be, Whoopi Goldberg is no longer just a famous actress, she has become the center of one of the biggest mysteries the FBI has ever faced. And the biggest question still remains unanswered: what did that letter really say, and where will it lead? News of the FBI's raid on Whoopi Goldberg's mansion spread like wildfire. Within hours, major newspapers, television stations, and social media were flooded. With sensational headlines, people dove into analyzing every detail that was revealed. But no one could have imagined that, at that moment, the FBI was beginning to piece together clues from the documents found in the secret room, and it seemed like everything was pointing to an astonishing hypothesis. Could Goldberg be connected to a shocking event in Hollywood's history? As the FBI examined the documents sealed in the secret room, they realized that most of them weren't just personal papers. Some of the documents contained letters exchanged between Goldberg and high-ranking figures in the entertainment industry, directors, producers, even those behind the most powerful corporations in Hollywood. Specifically, there was a series of letters exchanged with a name that caught the attention of the agents, Howard L. Emerson. This name might not be familiar to the public, but in investigative circles, it's a crucial clue. Emerson was a highly influential film producer from the 1970s to the 1990s, but then he abruptly left the industry and mysteriously vanished from Hollywood. His last public appearance was in 1994, just before a financial scandal erupted involving one of the biggest film studios at the time. Rumors circulated that he had left the United States and severed all ties with Hollywood. So why would Whoopi Goldberg correspond with someone like him? One of the documents that particularly caught the FBI's attention was a handwritten letter signed by Whoopi Goldberg, sent in 1993. The letter read the passage, "I know what happened that night. If the truth is exposed, we're all in trouble." What night was she referring to? And what happened that caused someone like Whoopi to be worried enough to write these words? Another letter sent a few months later seemed to be trying to reassure someone that they wouldn't find anything, just stay silent. These letters could be evidence of a larger conspiracy, but the FBI has yet to determine their true context. However, as they continued to search through other documents, one piece of evidence brought clarity to everything: an old VHS tape with the label "Do Not Watch, Private." The agents immediately took the tape to the lab to retrieve its contents, but just looking at its worn surface was enough to tell that if there was anything important inside, it had likely been hidden for decades. As the FBI continues their investigation, they realize that Whoopi Goldberg had close ties to a small group of powerful figures in the film industry during the late 1980s and early 1990s. Among them were names rumored to be linked to a major scandal, a case that had been covered up or forgotten by the media over time. In 1991, a young actor suddenly disappeared from Hollywood after accusing a powerful figure of misconduct. However, the case was quickly settled, silenced, and the identity of the accuser was never revealed. Now, the FBI is asking whether Whoopi Goldberg knew about this incident. Was she involved in some way, intentionally or unintentionally? And most importantly, are the documents found in her home the key to reopening this long-buried case? As soon as news of the documents in her mansion leaked, the public began to panic. Whoopi Goldberg's fans, who have followed her for decades, were confused by the new theory. Some believe she might have inadvertently been involved in an incident from the past that she never anticipated. Others believe that she may be hiding an important secret, and the FBI search is just the first step in uncovering everything. The FBI is now faced with a mountain of documents that could change the way the public perceives Whoopi Goldberg. If you find this story fascinating and thought-provoking, leave a comment with the number 1. If not, leave a comment with the number 0. Now, let's continue with the intriguing story of Whoopi Goldberg. What they found in the secret room may just be the tip of the iceberg, with much more waiting to be uncovered beneath the surface. What does that VHS tape contain? Do the letters truly relate to a major scandal from the past? And if the truth is revealed, how will this impact Whoopi Goldberg's career and reputation? One thing is certain, the investigation is far from over, and what the FBI uncovers next could change everything. The FBI raid on Whoopi Goldberg's mansion not only shocked Hollywood but also sparked a wave of speculation in the media. A series of theories emerged. What is she hiding? Do these documents relate to a shocking secret? And why did the FBI act so decisively? For days, the public could only guess. But then, amidst the storm, Whoopi Goldberg finally broke her silence, and what she said shocked everyone. In an exclusive interview on one of America's biggest television shows, Whoopi Goldberg appeared calm but determined. When the host asked about the raid, she took a deep breath, looked straight into the camera, and said, "Look, I woke up one morning and found the FBI in my living room. If you think that's an interesting way to start your day, you're seriously mistaken. From the very first words, Whoopi made it clear that she had no intention of avoiding the issue. When asked about the documents seized by the FBI, she laughed and said that they found some old letters, a few movie scripts, and clearly some history books. "I guess I should warn them that I'm a collector," she continued, asserting that the items in the secret room were nothing to worry about. "They are simply a personal collection, a memento of my decades-long career." But what surprised the public the most was a completely new revelation. The secret room was not a place to hide shocking secrets, but actually a personal museum. "I've always been fascinated by Hollywood history, especially the parts people tend to forget. That room was just my small collection of things I found interesting over the years." She explained that the letters exchanged with Howard L. Emerson, who was under FBI investigation, were actually just conversations about film projects that were never made. "We talked about films that were never realized, stories too controversial for their time. No conspiracy, no crime, just two people who love cinema." However, the interview didn't stop at explaining the documents. When asked whether she believed the raid was a conspiracy to bring her down, Whoopi paused for a moment and then responded with a mysterious smile, "Let's just say Hollywood is full of surprises. Some people don't like it when you ask too many questions." This statement immediately sparked a new wave of speculation. Who is behind this investigation? Is there someone deliberately targeting Whoopi Goldberg to discredit her? Some industry sources have started leaking information that the FBI received an anonymous tip leading to the raid on Whoopi's mansion. But who is behind this tip, and why would they want to drag Whoopi Goldberg into such a situation? Immediately after the interview aired, public opinion became divided. Some believe that Whoopi is completely innocent, that she is merely a victim of a misunderstanding or even a political conspiracy. But many still feel skeptical. Why would the FBI raid her mansion if everything were so simple? And most importantly, is there something that Whoopi Goldberg has yet to reveal? No matter how reasonable her story might be, there are still too many unanswered questions. The VHS tape that the FBI found in the secret room has yet to be released. Is it just an old film, or does it truly contain something that could change everything? The answer still lies ahead, and perhaps this is just the beginning of an even bigger mystery. In the days following the incident, a strong wave of reactions from Whoopi Goldberg's colleagues and fans began to reshape the landscape of the entertainment industry. Whoopi Goldberg, a cinematic legend and one of Hollywood's icons, is now caught in an unprecedented storm. Will she be able to overcome it, or will this be a stain that cannot be erased from her career? In less than a week after the raid, major film studios began to take clear action. A film project featuring Whoopi Goldberg that was in development was suddenly put on indefinite hold. A source from Hollywood revealed that studios are being cautious. No one wants to be involved in the controversy right now. A documentary about Hollywood history that she was producing has lost its funding, citing the need to reassess the project's suitability. Even the TV show that Whoopi Goldberg co-hosts has found itself in a tense situation, as some sponsors have started to withdraw. Hollywood is a pragmatic place. When you shine, the world watches you, but when you're caught up in a scandal, they quickly turn their backs. Whoopi Goldberg's situation has quickly become a hot topic in the media, and the artistic community cannot ignore it. Some people have spoken out in her defense, claiming that the FBI's raid was unreasonable and baseless. But not everyone is supportive. Some figures in the industry have carefully avoided mentioning Whoopi Goldberg in interviews. Even colleagues who once worked with her have quietly deleted old posts related to her on social media. Clearly, not everyone is willing to risk their reputation to support her. The questions, the mysteries surrounding the seized documents, and especially the FBI's failure to release an official conclusion to the investigation, make it impossible for them to stand by Whoopi Goldberg. Public opinion is divided, and this makes Whoopi Goldberg's situation more precarious than ever. While Hollywood remains the subject of discussion, the FBI remains silent. No official statements, no new information, no updates on the investigation. This silence only adds to the mystery. Is the FBI preparing an important statement, or have they realized they've gone down the wrong path and are quietly trying to back out? A media analyst commented, "Sometimes silence is more dangerous than words." If the FBI doesn't clarify things soon, people will fill in the gaps themselves. And indeed, when there are no answers, the most outrageous theories begin to emerge. Some tabloid newspapers have even suggested that there is a dark force within the entertainment industry trying to bring down Whoopi Goldberg. But regardless of whether that story is true or not, the most obvious thing right now is that Whoopi Goldberg's reputation has been seriously threatened. The biggest question now is whether Whoopi Goldberg will recover from this shock. Hollywood has seen many stars lose their dignity after major scandals, but there are also those who have reborn, overcoming everything to continue shining. Whoopi Goldberg is a strong woman, a talented actress, and one of the most influential people in the entertainment industry. But is that enough to help weather this storm? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, this story is far from over. The FBI has discovered something unexpected, but the biggest question remains, what does this mean for Whoopi Goldberg? A new chapter has been opened, and the public has only seen the first page. The truth will continue to unfold, and the secrets yet to come may be even more shocking. The unfolding saga surrounding Whoopi Goldberg's entanglement with the FBI investigation has transcended the boundaries of a mere celebrity scandal, morphing into a sprawling, multi-layered narrative that probes the very heart of Hollywood's gilded facade. It's a narrative that interweaves the allure of fame with the shadowy undercurrents of power, secrets, and the relentless pursuit of truth, a narrative that mirrors the dramatic tension of a classic noir thriller. The discovery of a hidden chamber within her opulent estate, a repository of cryptic documents, and an enigmatic VHS tape, served as the dramatic prologue to a mystery that could rival the most compelling cinematic thrillers. Yet, the subsequent cascade of revelations has only deepened the enigma, shrouding the case in an almost impenetrable fog of uncertainty and fueling a maelstrom of speculation that has captivated the public imagination, holding it in a vice-like grip, and transforming the actress's life into a real-time drama played out on the global stage. The perplexing correspondence between Goldberg and Howard L. Emerson, a once formidable film magnate whose abrupt and unexplained disappearance from the Hollywood scene left behind a trail of unanswered questions and lingering suspicions, forms the crux of this unfolding drama. The contents of their epistolary exchanges, particularly the ominously cryptic phrase, "I know what happened that night," hint at a clandestine connection to a potentially sinister and long-buried chapter in Hollywood's storied and often shadowy past. The FBI's keen and unwavering interest in these documents suggests they may hold the key to unlocking a long-dormant case, possibly linked to the unsettling and still unexplained vanishing of a budding young actor in the early 1990s, an incident swiftly and mysteriously swept under the rug, leaving a lingering sense of unease and unanswered questions, and painting a picture of a system that protects its own. Goldberg's public pronouncements, delivered with an air of calculated composure and a carefully crafted narrative, characterizing the hidden room as a mere personal museum and the letters as innocuous and routine film discussions, have done little to assuage the growing tide of suspicion and skepticism. Her cryptic and veiled allusion to people who don't like it when you ask too many questions has only served to fuel the fires of speculation, igniting a maelstrom of theories about a potential conspiracy lurking beneath the glittering surface of Hollywood's facade, a dark undercurrent threatening to expose the industry's hidden secrets. The anonymous tip that triggered the FBI's dramatic raid adds another layer of profound complexity to the already convoluted puzzle, raising the crucial question of who is orchestrating this elaborate campaign to discredit her, and what their underlying motives might be, casting a long shadow of doubt over the entire investigation, and hinting at a power play that extends beyond the actress herself. The entertainment industry's reaction to the unfolding scandal has been swift, decisive, and unequivocally damning, casting a long and ominous shadow over Goldberg's once illustrious career. Film projects have been abruptly shelved, funding has been withdrawn with alarming alacrity, and even her prominent and long-held position on The View has been thrown into jeopardy, with sponsors fleeing like rats deserting a sinking ship, highlighting the industry's ruthless pragmatism. This swift and unequivocal condemnation underscores the precarious and ephemeral nature of celebrity, where reputations, built over decades, can be tarnished and shattered in an instant, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake, and illustrating the chilling power of public perception, a power that can both elevate and destroy. The FBI's continued and unnerving silence on the matter has only served to amplify the mystery, allowing the fertile imaginations of the public and the media to run rampant, conjuring up a plethora of outlandish and often sensational theories. The absence of official statements and the withholding of the VHS tape's contents have given rise to a veritable cottage industry of speculation, with some tabloid publications even suggesting the existence of a shadowy and malevolent cabal within Hollywood, a dark force seeking to orchestrate Goldberg's downfall and silence her voice, painting a picture of a sinister conspiracy that reaches into the highest echelons of power and hinting at a battle between forces unseen. In the midst of this swirling vortex of uncertainty, where truth and fiction become increasingly indistinguishable, Whoopi Goldberg's legacy hangs precariously in the balance, teetering on the precipice of ruin. Her decades-long career, marked by iconic roles, impassioned activism, and a voice that has often challenged the status quo, now faces its ultimate and most formidable test. The question that hangs heavy in the air, unanswered and ominous, remains: will she emerge from this scandal unscathed, her reputation intact? Or will this be the defining moment that forever tarnishes her hard-earned reputation, casting a long and indelible shadow over her legacy, and potentially revealing the darkness that lies beneath the glamour of Hollywood, a darkness that threatens to consume all in its path, and potentially expose the fragility of the very system that created her? If you find the story of Whoopi Goldberg interesting and surprising, don't forget to like, comment your thoughts, and share this video so others can discover it too. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next exciting video. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.